wanna see some people.
Thank you for watching Spill the Tea with Hawk and Chrissy. I'm the Chrissy. Today we're going to be spilling the tea about transgender support groups with our friends Gatlyn Dame and Gatlyn from the Gatlyn Dame Support Group. How are you all today?
Good.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves. We're excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming and giving us your time. I think that all of our current people that really enjoy the show, most of them are local and most of them probably know at least a little bit about what you do. But what are you like as people? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
We are what you see is what you get kind of people. Very much so. We're always open for conversation with people, and I think that helps a lot in the support.
Yeah.
We met in 2005. Mm-hmm. We competed against each other in a drag competition down in Hickory, North Carolina.
Nice.
And
yeah,
he won, and that's fine. Yeah, we met there, and we were friends for a few years, and then because we were with different people, and as we broke up with those people, got together after the fact, after we were both single, and we just celebrated our 11th anniversary.
11, big 11. There you go.
Yeah.
We've been married for 6 years, but we've been together 11. Friends for longer, and we have 8 dogs, 5 cats, and a turtle.
we have 6 cats now.
Oh, we have 6 cats now because Gage got another one on New Year's.
Nice.
So we have 8 dogs, 6 cats, and a turtle. Red-eared slider that's in a 75-gallon tank in our living room.
That's officially a family, see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's a huge family. Yes.
Where were you guys from? Were you from around here already and just went to North Carolina for that, or did you end up here from other places? Were you from down south, or?
I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. I was born in Wheeling, West Virginia. I grew up on the other side of the state, eastern Ohio, and then moved to Middletown whenever I was 11.
Oh, I got connections to Middletown. My grandmother was from there.
I was from Jacksonville. Well, I am from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Grew up there. Spent some of my time in Northwest Georgia, but I grew up between Jacksonville and Pensacola, and Jacksonville is where I started doing drag.
Wow.
And it's where I started transitioning. So
Those seem like variant backgrounds. So like West Virginia, Eastern Ohio, probably a very conservative place. Was Florida more of a liberal place?
very conservative. Florida is not as liberal as Miami. That's like it's got its own little, but there's some places within Florida that are progressive,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's a pretty conservative state.
What brought you here? How did you end up here?
I ended up here because when I first started coming to Dayton, I was booking here.
Yeah.
I had gigs.
We had a bigger scene. We had Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and I got booked at Celebrity whenever.
Celebrity.
Yeah, and then they closed down, so Mask ended up taking that booking for me.
I see.
So I ended up working at Mask a lot, and so whenever we finally got together, I was back in Florida, and then we was like, well, let's do this. So he came down, and we drove back to Ohio together, and been here ever since.
When I first met you both, I was at the group. I had just come out. I think it was 2017, and I was looking around the area for people that I could click with. I don't even remember who told me about you. I think I Googled it. That might be like how we accidentally stumble upon lots of things.
Yeah.
How did you end up being in a position of life where you said, what I want to do is I want to start a transgender support group to help my community?
We were thinking about doing something. We wanted to do something for the community before December.
Before we actually started.
2014. Because December 2014 is when we really were talking about it. Seriously, and then January is when we put in all the paperwork, because that's when Leila Alcorn had died by suicide on 71 or 75, whenever she went and threw herself in front of a sibling. So it was at that point where we looked at each other and said,
We've got to do something
we
right
have
now.
to do something.
Right now. This can't wait anymore.
We have to do something, because no one should feel that they're alone, and no one else should die
Because they don't have support.
or because they don't think that they have anybody to turn to. So we started it started out very small peer support, and it's grew to where we have a social once a month. We raise awareness, and we also provide education as well. So we have a whole thing, and our mission is to provide support, education, awareness, and outlets for transgender, non-conforming, and their allies. So it's not just for transgender people, and it is for non-conforming, but it's also for allies to be able to come and learn and understand. There's been many over the years that have actually come and just stopped and listened and then asked questions, and through the support group was able to have that aha moment where everything just clicked for them. And that's awesome. Even people from the Job Corps have come. Yes, the staff from Job Corps. They just wanted to learn more, and because they had a transgender woman out there, and they wanted to do right by her. So, they came and learned, and
Took it back to their Job Corps.
It's great. It's great to do that. It's great to, when people come out for the first time in group and then see their transition. That's pretty awesome for us.
You've seen that a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Since 2014, I bet you've seen that a lot.
Yeah, it's great.
So we just celebrated our 5 years.
In January.
Almost every one of my trans friends in Dayton has a connection to you somehow. And most of my closest friends that I still have, 2 of them, we started group together. Like, that's where I met them, was the group. So it's not only like a mutual connection or they came later, but we actually met there. Bridget Denman, the comedian that was on my first episode, we met in group.
Awesome.
That was one of our first experiences before either of us were really sure if we wanted to tell the world
Right.
everything.
That's awesome.
But
Cool.
yeah, so thank you. I never really got to thank you, but thank you both.
Well,
That meant a lot.
thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's without people like you and people like us,
There's no rebellion.
when you were coming to group back in 2017, we said that it was a safe space. Right, you were in a safe space, but we've changed the verbiage because we feel that there is no actual safe space anywhere anymore.
Okay.
With all of the hacks and the database, you're not really safe anywhere. However, we feel that we provide a brave space
Okay.
because it takes courage and to be able to even show up and to talk, and therefore, with your courage, we provide a brave space for you to be able to come and share and open up and people to communicate with each other.
Make family and friends between each other.
Do you guys still have a lot of youth that come? Are there still the
Not
teenagers?
as much lately, but we've had a couple, sporadically,
Yeah.
but I remember when you were coming,
When I
we had a crew
Yeah, there was a
of
crew,
youngsters that came.
rambunctious.
Yeah. So there was a whole, slew of kids that were there, and
Like a wolf pack of
Yes,
children that were all
but
trained
those-
rabid.
they've all kind of grown up. It's
Yeah.
been a couple of
Been
years.
a couple of years, huh?
Yeah, and they've all kind of went their own directions and are out in the wilderness doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
In fact, one of them is doesn't consider herself trans anymore.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Is
That always happens.
Yeah.
There's
actually,
myriad
I
ways.
believe she's like 30 weeks pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we've all grown quite a bit since
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but it's
Okay.
pretty cool. And again, it's all part of journeys,
Yeah.
and
and exploring and trying to figure out yourself.
yeah.
I know both of your journeys have been riddled with change and difference. So I think when we met, we had lots of talks about identities and how people have identified different ways at different times. So I've already had concept of that since the beginning, since our earliest talks as well. That nothing is fixed, and we all go through a journey, and that journey's not fixed, and we end up wherever that is.
Actually, Dr. Fred Peterson actually wrote a story on us.
Yeah.
And we were
That goes
actually,
all the way through
yeah, it does. It goes all the way through.
from our whole relationship.
And it's in a college textbook actually
Nice.
that is distributed here locally for Miami University. It's distributed at Antioch
Wow.
and maybe some more. I'm not sure, but
Is that a gender studies book or is
it
that?
is.
It is.
It is.
Wow.
Sex and gender.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Gatlyn Dame Group is for support, education, awareness, and outlets. The core of it was support, and it's peer support. And it's for us to get together and know that, we're not alone, right? It's that, we're all going through the same things. It might be at different times, or we've gone through similar things because all of our journeys are different. Like for me, I lived non-conforming for a very, very long time. He didn't think that I was going to actually take my next step in transition until after my mother passed. And it was actually a conversation with her that made me want to go ahead and start T. And, I had even asked in group, if I started taking testosterone, was I still non-conforming? And the answer is yes.
Right.
And whenever you start taking hormones, things change inside your body. And, I was even more comfortable in my own skin. I had top surgery, and, here I am. So, I don't know. If
it wasn't for group, you probably would have taken a lot longer to make that step.
That is absolutely true. I don't even know if I would ever get on.
Done it.
Yeah, because it helps to hear other people speak your words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes you feel not so alone in the world. Because for the when I first started transitioning, I was completely alone until the day I realized that there were other transgender people going through the same things that I was. You know what I mean? And it just changes your life. It changes your whole outlook on everything.
Because it's not something you've invented anymore. You can see it in
Absolutely. And you don't have to be scared of it. It's not something to be scared of anymore. You can just come talk to other people and they go, oh, wow, this is amazing.
It gives them hope.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big point. It ties into what we need as a culture.
Correct.
Which is hope that there's going to be a better day.
That's true, because it does get better. And it's not going to be perfect, because nothing ever is perfect, but it does get better. And it's all about, your ability to absorb information and be able to absorb what's going on within you and being able to relate to somebody else. Because if you're the only person that's feeling it or something, you're like, oh my God, why am I so weird? And it's not weird.
Yeah, and that's a lot of reasons why the suicide rate is so high when it comes to transgender teens.
Yeah, we are disproportionately more of a high suicide rate than any other group in America.
Absolutely.
Actually, trans men have a 50% chance of trying to die by suicide at least once during their teenage years.
Wow.
It's the highest rate. So,
and probably one of the most vast and most invisible groups of the transgender community because of trans misogyny. I think a lot of the hate is aimed towards trans women, and not that trans men have an easy break, but I mean they seem to be erased in a lot of the arguments.
They just don't talk about us. We're just non-existent.
Yeah.
I think that it's more that we blend in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's easier. I don't know if it's easier, but it's.
Well, it's the same argument that the men are okay with lesbians than they are with gays.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird.
It ties to things. We talk about it the other day in class, actually, as gender studies, Kristen says. Tomboys were always accepted. People who are born women who want to exhibit masculine traits, of course they would. That's the gold standard.
Right.
But men who try to, trespass gender borderlines get policed, and I think that's where a lot of the hate from the community comes. So it's raced, and it's gendered, and it's classed.
And it's definitely raced.
Definitely
because
raced.
The trans women of color have the worst.
Yes.
They are the most marginalized of any other.
And disproportionately murdered. I know not all trans people are murdered because they're trans, but of the trans deaths last year, most of them were women of color.
Almost all of them were trans women of color.
And I will tell you that the same goes for HIV and AIDS rates now.
Yes.
The trans population is 3 times higher of getting a positive test done now as new than even the counterparts in the LGBT community.
Wow.
So, and the highest rate is in trans women of color as well. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of intersectional things probably leading to that.
Yeah.
I'd say poverty conditions and
sex
work and drugs.
drugs, yes. And, I think that that's something that our support group also provides, is the ability to come and just be yourself and not get judged. And to know that it's okay. Whatever phase you're going through, whatever path you are choosing to go to even survive, you are okay, and you are in a place that you can just be yourself and not be judged on that. And there are people that come and just sit and listen.
Yeah.
Don't say a word. They say their name. They say their name and their pronouns, whatever they feel like their pronouns are, and then they don't say nothing else the whole time.
But
but it's okay.
But at the same time,
Because-
they love the group
Yeah.
because they feel that other people speak their truth for them.
And then a lot of times, after a few months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever, those people will actually say something. And then some of them, we can't shut them up after that.
Right.
They want to talk about everything. It's great. So no, it's great. It really is.
And I firmly believe that the Gatlyn Dame Group have saved many, many lives in the
I would say you have.
Dayton area.
I would say that I know personally that you absolutely have. So,
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
to be quite honest with you, the Gatlyn Dame Group has saved my life as well.
And mine.
So that it's not just one way;
Mhm.
it's both. And we're just two people that wanted to provide something for the community, but in turn, we needed something too.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that we help each other. That's just the way that it's supposed to work.
that's beautiful. I think that's right on.
So we also provide socials.
Just
yes.
tell us about the socials a
We
little bit.
provided one social, at least one social a month.
Mhm.
Which
Now-
I've never been able to get to because they're always like 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 and I'm always at work. Like,
Yeah, really sorry about that.
It's okay.
When is the social this month?
So the social this month will be Transgender Day Visibility. It will be March 31st.
Okay.
March 31st.
Which actually, there is a resource fair during the day from noon to 5. Noon to 5. Noon to 4, noon to 5 in the atrium of Wright State University.
Right here at Wright State University.
Yes.
Trans Day Visibility.
Trans Day Visibility, March 31st. And then that evening, there'll be the Trans Prom, which will be also here at Wright State University. So,
Which I'll try to be at, and we'll see what goes on with letting cameras in there. But it's a transgender event, no promises on that one.
well, I'm sure that we could talk to Mel with Equitas, and that's who's putting it on. So,
Wonderful.
I'm sure that there won't be no problems there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Gage and I are both in Dallas during that day.
We do pageants, and our huge national pageants is in March, and it's held in Dallas this year.
Look at my shout out to Ashley. Look who I'm sitting next to.
We did have to move it to Dallas because Mass closed. So,
We're also studying in class the idea of like fictive kin and how queers have always sort of made families out of the people around them. Do you feel like there's a spirit of that general queer ideology in what we do as a support group? Do you think that we're trying to build
absolutely.
families?
absolutely, it's a chosen family. So, just like what you said, some of your closest friends you met at group. It's the same thing, We met, we didn't meet at group, but we meet people at group that, inadvertently become part of our family too.
Yeah, and they become brothers or sisters or siblings or,
Them
whatnot.
friends.
Yeah, and it after a short time of people, hanging out with each other within our community, it doesn't take a very long time to attach to people, and once you have that attachment, you're friends for life, you're family, so we see a lot of that.
And we try to connect with everybody that comes through. We really do. In one way, shape, or form. But if people continue to come, then we meet their family.
Yeah.
And we become part of the extended family to the family that's there too as well. So,
Okay.
and that's pretty awesome. And I think that, that's not only for us, but that's for the people around as well. We see, it's like, hi, when are you going to cook for us? And they're like, oh, I know, I love cooking and I can't wait to have you over. And we host parties all the time and it's like, I know, but every time you invite us, we can't make it. So, but it's like one of those things where, we can all also get together outside of things.
Yeah.
Because there's safety in numbers and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
And,
So,
and we've had people need to meet other people, especially like trans kids, who aren't comfortable coming to group yet, but they just need to meet another transgender person. They just need to understand what's going on with them, and we'll meet them outside at like, a restaurant or something and just be the support that we can, and then maybe next month they might come.
They might come to the group.
Yeah. And then make even more friends.
I mean, and we do that for people that are like, well, I'm just afraid of big groups and they just need to talk. We don't have a problem meeting them outside.
You're amazing people. I think the stereotype would be that you're administrative and that's not safe for you to do and that's not the kind of thing that you administer for. And that's really, really amazing.
But that's what we need and that's what everyone needs is somebody to talk to sometimes. And why would we not do that for somebody else?
It's a very, very easy service to provide.
Yeah. So
I think some people would disagree with you, but
well,
No.
and
I think that
again,
would be
you just have
very
to-
crappy disagreeing.
You just have to love people, you have to love what you do, and we believe in what we do. We believe in the service that we give to the people, and it's very easy to, meet people and become friends with them, and
It's not work.
it's not work.
it's not work.
It's never work.
And and the thing is that we are very busy people, right? And people are like, "Well, you're so busy." I was like, "Yes, I understand." But I tell them, I said, I will always make time. You just have to ask.
Yeah, make the time.
Yeah.
Let's schedule it. That's what
Correct.
you told me.
Yeah. Have a schedule.
We gotta have a
Because
schedule.
if it's not on my schedule, it doesn't happen.
You're right.
I mean, there's times where we get so busy that we have to schedule like just like date night, like for
Yeah.
us.
You're flipping through the schedule for date night.
Yes,
Right,
and
yes.
sometimes it's 2 months down the
Yeah.
road, but you know what, if we don't schedule it, then it'll never
It
happen.
ain't gonna happen either.
Right.
And it is important to have that as well. We can't just be business all the time, and we can't be for everybody else all the time. We also have to be there for each other as, as partners, as a married couple. We have to stay grounded in who we are and not get lost in the work that we're trying to do for the community because we are also there for each other.
And that's a good point to make. You guys have to do self-care. So
Yes.
activism's not just this thing that people think where you carry the sign and you perpetually carry it and nothing ever breaks and everything's cool and you're always brave and you're always strong.
Nope.
No.
You gotta care for yourself, don't you?
If you read some Facebook posts, you never know what might come out. I do have to ask if I'm allowed to post things, because we are, head of a support group now, and we have a nonprofit
Yeah.
organization. We're national promoters. We had another talent contest and stuff. And he says I'm not allowed to speak my mind, but I say please don't ask me any questions that you don't want the answer to. So.
That's a good line to draw, I guess. That's about as fair as it gets sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's sometimes that I post things without.
What you see is what you get kind of people.
Oh man, it's bad sometimes. One thing that we want to do in the future is we would actually like to have more funding, more sponsors, and hopefully have some kind of trans-exclusive place here in Dayton.
Nice.
It's a goal.
That is a goal for us. Not only to provide a place for them to be able to go and for us to have our own place, but also to maybe have some beds. So if somebody needs to take a nap.
Yeah. There's lots of housing issues within the trans community.
There's lots of housing issues, and the shelters are not the safest places.
I hear that. So there's a lot of people that won't go to the religious run ones because I guess they have a tendency to have ideologies that, would exclude those kind of peoples. But I would urge people to Google and look for not-for-profit kind of places or places that are run through other organizations, perhaps, and not churches. Would be a good place for trans or queers to go.
Something that is happening in Dayton, which is super awesome, is the LGBTQ initiative that Daybreak is having right now.
Tell us about that a little bit. Do you know anything about that?
They are, yes. So they actually have a trans group meeting once the first Friday of every month now.
Oh, wow.
For their kids. They are also going to be providing a drop-in center twice a month for people that are homeless, and they are in the midst of changing their one wing where they're going to provide, I think it's 8 or 10 beds specifically for LGBTQ.
Wow.
And they're going to be in their own wing. So it's going to be LGBTQ, it's going to be 8 or 10 beds, and it's specifically for them, and nobody else is going to be on that wing except for them. So, which is pretty amazing.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daybreak. That's amazing news.
Yes. So we're trying to we're trying to partner with them as much as we can, and again, you know, our future goal was to have Gatlyn Dame Group, everywhere, right? But here locally, I would really like to see a trans place for us.
There's a need.
We do need that. That's
Yes.
an actual need.
Yes, you know, and because there's closet transformations now that are here in Dayton. It got started by 2
Yeah,
therapists.
that's right.
So you can donate clothes, you can go get clothes, you can. They have accessories. They have some binders. They have some breast
Wow.
forms. They have.
Packers.
I think they have a couple packers. That kind of thing that you can go. You know, if you don't have any money, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to exchange. If you just want to donate stuff, you can.
If you just want to come in and get clothes, you can.
Right.
We'll link that down
Yeah.
below too.
Yeah. So that's Closet Transformations, and they're looking for a place to actually be, because right now, you know, it's just, you know, two allies of
Yeah.
ours that saw the need, saw the Transform story down in Cincinnati, and said, you know what, we need that here. And so they're running it out of one of their basements right now, and they're looking for a spot for them to go, and it's out of their 2 pockets that they've started everything.
So if anybody knows of a place that would
Yeah.
give
Absolutely.
to a nonprofit organization that there's a need.
Yeah, that
And
would be
that
able
would
to
be
provide,
amazing.
you know, a decent room or space for some clothing,
Okay.
accessories, and some other things to sit there, but also, you know, a bathroom or a changing room or something that they could.
If anybody knows, you can reach out to us, or you can write the Gatlyn Dame Group and submit any kind of information that you might have about leads on places where that could get set up.
Right, and Closet Transformation is also helping the youth prom. So if the youth prom is happening April 25th down at the downtown Dayton Library, and they're actually going to provide, if anybody needs a dress or a suit, or however you want to dress,
However you want to be.
you're welcome to go there ahead of time, and then they will put your name on that specific outfit,
Nice.
and then they'll take it down to the library to provide to them that night. So, in case the kids can't take it home.
Yeah.
If, you know, for whatever reason, we're going to provide some makeup too, maybe somebody to do their hair and stuff like that.
I
So
would
it
love
starts
to
at
help.
7.
Yeah.
Cool, right on.
Yeah.
Great.
So it starts at 7, and I think we're going to open it up about 5 o'clock for the kids to actually come down.
What day of the week is that?
I don't know.
Figure it out.
Thursday, I think, maybe.
I'll do it. I'll be there.
Okay, so I think it's a Thursday. It's April 25th, and there's also on the 3rd floor is a second chance prom for anybody that didn't either get to go to prom or didn't get to go to prom with the person that they
No, they
wanted.
want it.
So,
Beautiful.
so I know that they're going to have photography there, so you can have a prom photo. They're going to have a DJ. They're going to have some, games for the kids. It's super awesome. They're going to have some food. So, and the library is providing the whole entire library that evening from 7 o'clock on, 7 to 10, for the kids, and then for the adults, for the LGBTQ.
Library's been doing a lot for us
Yes.
lately, haven't they? So that's a good connection for our community in ways.
So we had TDOR, Transgender Day of Remembrance there, not 2019, but 2018.
That's when I went with.
Yes, 2018. We got a little bit big. We got too big
Yeah.
for the library, so we moved it to St. Clair
Okay.
last year for 2019, and we're looking to do some big things for 2020. We had Alexander Billings here this past year, and she would like to come back. We will also probably have another speaker, but she would like to come back, and she would like to donate stuff to our community and help our community prosper.
She came here and fell in love with Dayton. She
Yes.
really loves it and loves the people here. It was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me really proud.
Yeah, for
Because there's
sure.
not a lot of Dayton to fall in love with except the people.
Oh, I'll tell you what, she did. We had a great time. We ate down in the Oregon district when we were there, and she fell in love with one of the sandwiches down there. So I know she'll come back for, I believe it was the convertible, I think.
That sounds familiar.
Yes. So she was talking about that sandwich several days afterwards. And we went and ate, and I sent her a picture of where I was, and she was like, "Oh my God, that was awesome!" So.
But when vegetarians, I'm like, Lucky's Tap Room has all my
I'm
vegetarian
vegan.
chicken
Vegan?
nuggets, vegan
Yeah.
chicken nuggets, tenders, and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Great.
So.
That's my spot.
So yeah, Lucky's was the place that we went
Nice.
after Transgender Day of Remembrance, and I tell you what, it was amazing. And it was amazing to have her, and it's amazing that she wants to come back and she wants to help our community
Absolutely.
grow and help raise some money. In fact, I believe that she's going to be here a little extra longer so we can auction off a dinner with her and her wife.
Wow.
So, which is pretty amazing. So, but right now she's in New York on Wicked Weekend. So,
Right. So much pride.
Yeah.
We are going places. The tides are tipping
yeah.
in some ways. It does get better. Life is going to shift if we keep working hard.
absolutely. And it's just like we were talking when she was here. We were talking about the way that things are going and how things are trying to be rolled back on the LGBT community. And you know what? We're a resilient people.
Yeah.
And we will just keep fighting. And and I know
Maybe
that
harder.
people are trying to take the T out of the LGBT and all of that. But you know what? We're here, and we're here to stay. And just as long as you continue to fight, and we will have a voice. We always will. And just as long as I'm alive, I will voice it. So.
Same.
And just as long as we are able to fight, even for the people that aren't able to fight for themselves, we're having a good day.
For sure.
Great. Thank you all so much.
Thanks for having us.
I think anyone that I ever meet that's trans, I send your way. I don't know if they make their way there or not.
They probably do.
They probably
Yep.
do one way or another. We miss you. We'll come see you again.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. If you want to contact our guest, we'll have links below. Thank you very much for an illuminating conversation, and keep strong. Is there anything that you would like to say to any trans people that might be watching?
Just, it's your journey, nobody else can tell you which way to go on your journey. It's for you and you alone. You might take some allies with you, some friends, some family, but it's your journey. Nobody can tell you way to go.
And I will say that yes, you're on a journey. All of our journeys look different.
Yeah.
But if you are just coming out in that journey and you're just able to speak that you are trans or you are one way or the other, please know that the people that you are telling have started all the way back at the beginning of where you started, and you have had turmoil and have lived with that turmoil internally for so long. They are still at the beginning, and it's not going to happen overnight,
No, it's gonna take
ever.
time.
But it does take time, and some people come around and some people don't. However, you please know that not everybody does things in malice, and to give people the time to be able to adjust. Because that adjustment period, because you're not just transitioning for yourself, but everybody in your life and everybody around you is in transition. Whether it be transition out of your life, whether it be transitioning with you, whether it be transitioning into your life, you're in a state of flux right there. And until you can become stable and and until everybody can be almost on the same page, there's still going to be some up and downs. I talked about the weather with my mother for 5 years, And she was the one that encouraged me to actually take the next step in my transition. And the only thing she asked me was not to grow facial hair. She was like, that's the only thing that I can't handle. I'm just gonna ask you that. Okay. And she had my dad grow out facial hair and then asked him not to cut it. So it's kind of like a turnabout there, like a turntable, like, it's fine, so.
And you have not shaved a couple of times and been around your mom, and she's been fine.
Yeah, yes, she's been okay with it. So, it does get better. And, again, there are people that you will lose in your life because of who you are.
I lost my mother.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk.
So
you will lose people.
You will lose people.
And it's probably going to be some people that you really cared about and you thought really cared about you. It happens. We have to be strong and move on.
That happens in life, even if
and
you're
find
not
chosen family. That's right. Find people that do care about you, that do love you unconditionally, and it will get better.
And my mother has taken him under
Yeah.
her wing.
She loves me.
During our wedding, they danced together.
Aww.
So it was, it was awesome.
You'll find other people.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big love to you all. Reach out to us on our Discord if you have any distress. We'll be on there a little bit later this evening, March the 1st when we air, hopefully. Thank you all and have a wonderful night. Mwah!
Because there's a problem, maybe, with the life you try to chase. It's like a box mod, baby. It'll blow up in your face. Yeah, people explode sometimes. Get out of the